Hello, this is Jay Loy.
This is Sherry.
Welcome to another episode of our project analysis. So today we are going to be talking about Narra Residences. So Sherry, do you know where this place is?
Actually, I know because I stayed there last time. Basically, it's quite an ulu place but it's at Dairy Farm Walk. To be honest, a lot of people think it's ulu, right? But we people stay there actually like the place because it's actually very convenient. Because we have buses, we have MRT station. Actually, it's still quite nearby Towards Orchard, we take about 10-20 minutes. I think it's quite near
I'm not a Westie I don't really stay there, but I've sold quite a few units there in that area also. Today we're going to be talking about Narra Residences So this will be the content that we'll be covering today. So first off, we will be covering, of course, the basic project information. Just now Sherry mentioned that this project is quite ulu, right? So I also hear a lot of my clients say that the projects here are actually not profitable. They don't earn money. And that is something that we're going to touch on later on. And also, they say this area is very hard to sell in the resale market. So, of course, we will also touch on that and then we will go through the supply and demand in depth. Then, of course, we will have our price guide. Who are the likely buyers of Narra Residences? Basically, we will go through the affordability and who are going to be the likely buyers of Narra Residences in the future. If let's say you are interested in Narra Residences, or you have heard of it and you are interested to come down to the SHOWFLAT and take a look, I think you will be very curious and also interested to know if you buy, next time, is it going to be easy to sell? Is it going to be profitable? And who are going to be the ones that are going to buy from you? And also, of course, lastly, we will touch on the layout comparison. So let us get right into it.
Okay, so now we'll talk about the location. As I mentioned earlier, I was staying there nearby Basically, I was from BPPS, which is Bukit Panjang Primary School. It's actually one click away from Narra Residence.
This is the location map. From this location map, actually, it's not very clear. It is close to Hillview MRT within walking distance. And it is close to the rail corridor, which is the whole stretch that stretches to Bukit Timah as well. And then if you're talking about amenities, of course, there is the Rail Mall. So Rail Mall is actually a stretch of shop houses with a lot of F&B. Of course, MINDEF just moved to Hillview as well. CMPB is actually right now in Hillview already. And they actually do have F&B shops and also they have those activities. It's basically a SAFRA on steroids. What you have in a SAFRA, they have it there as well. In the weekends, if you want to have a family time with your family, you can actually go over there. Later on, we will have a zoom in clearer map. Then I will show you where it is. And there is also a mall beside the Hillview MRT, which is the Hillview 2. That is actually a mixed development. So at Hillview 2, there are actually also F&B and then there's also a supermarket. The closest mall to Narra would be Dairy Farm Mall. So Dairy Farm Mall is actually the mall below Dairy Farm Residences, which is also another mixed development. So in terms of amenities wise, you do have your F&B at the Rail Mall. And if you want to spend time with your family, you have CMPB. The Hillview MRT, I won't say it's exactly super near, but if you walk, it's about 13 minutes around there. If you slow walk, you can actually cut through the park connector, which we will show you later on.
So let's look at the master plan. If you can see, there's a 2.1 plot ratio. That is our Narra Residence. And then right below us, that is Dairy Farm Residence. And the rest are plot as residential. So Jay, do you think this area, a lot of residential coming up?
So of course, Narra is the first harmonized plot. And if you don't know what is harmonized, basically it is like last time the space, for example, 1,000 square feet, it consists of your aircon ledge. But right now, 1,000 square feet, it doesn't consist of the aircon ledge space. If you buy a 1,000 square feet unit in Narra, it's really 1,000 square feet usable space.
Right.
There's no wasted space that's charged to your GFA. Because of this harmonization, certain projects actually have the advantage over the non-harmonized older projects in the area. In this slide, what we want to show you are the upcoming plots in this area. So of course, this is Narra, right? Beside Narra, this plot is also another upcoming plot. This is another upcoming plot. So this will be 1, 2, 3, over here 4, 5, and then 6. So there are actually 6 upcoming plots. Usually when there are more plots coming up, two things can happen. One thing is you have more supply, then you are worried that in the future nobody will buy from you. If let's say you do buy a unit at Narra, so that's the first concern. Second concern on a positive note is that we know that when government actually release land, they usually try to sell the land at a higher price than the previous one. So in a way, there's a chance that the upcoming plots might be more expensive in terms of land price compared to Narra Residences. And when I say that, it means that Narra Residences actually have a first mover advantage, because there's a chance that this will be the cheapest harmonized land plot in the whole Hillview and Dairy Farm area. And also Narra is actually the first harmonized project in the whole of District 23, which consists of Bukit Panjang, Bukit Batok and Choa Chu Kang. Later on, we will touch on the supply and demand. Let's go to the developer.
So basically, we have 6 developers in this project. We have Apex,
Santali Realty. These are the 2 major developers and also their partners, these 4 developers, Soon Lee Heng and all these For Apex wise, they actually recently developed a project called Artisan 8. It's still under construction. And then for Santali Realty, they actually did 2 ECs, which is Tenet and Altura EC. Of course, they also have other projects which you can go onto their website and check and see their track record but we didn't include it all in this slide.
So this is the fact sheet and the distribution chart. We have 540 units for this project and 546 slots and also 4 retail shops.
The project actually consists of 7 blocks, and these 7 blocks, the breakdown is 3 blocks of 6-story, 2 blocks of 13-story and 2 blocks of 16-story, total 540 units. The TOP on paper is actually 20th January 2030, but what we are hearing is that the developer is aiming for late 2028 to early 2029. And here is the distribution chart. So for 1 bedroom plus study, there are only 3 units, 517 square feet, all ground floor units. The majority of the project is actually consisting of 2 and 3 beders. If we just look at 2 and 3 bedder, you can see that it's actually more than 80% of the project. So developer has put a lot of emphasis on the 2 and 3 bedder. For 2 bedder wise, they have 2 bed 1 bath, 2 bed 2 bath, 2 bedroom plus study, 2 bedroom with home shelter. And 3 bedroom, they have 3 bedroom compact, 818 square feet. Then they have slightly bigger one, 872. The biggest 3 bedroom is the 3 bedroom plus study, which is 1152 square feet. The thing that is interesting is that the 4 bedroom smallest one is also 1152 square feet. Later on, we will show you guys the layout, then we will compare also. And then for the 5 bedders, they only have 26 units.
But there's private lift.
I think for this area, private lift is quite rare. This could be one of the unique selling points for the 5 bedroom. And the supply for the 5 bedders are really quite little in this area.
So this is about the maintenance fee. For 1 bedroom is 294 and 2 bedrooms onwards is 354, all the way to the 3 plus study will be a little bit more expensive, which is 414, and then 5 bedroom will be 472.
So this is our site plan. The land is actually quite big. The shape is actually quite good because it's quite regular. The thing is that the developer actually built a lot of facilities. They actually dedicated more than 60% to landscaping. So this is something that I think will be an advantage for Narra because of the landscaping. Because of this, the units can enjoy quite huge distance block to block, which we will show you later on. What we want to highlight on is a condo with full facilities. You have your tennis court, and then you have 2 barbecue pits and also 3 function rooms. And I see it's quite kids friendly. If you are buying for own stay, you have a big family, you have kids, I think your kids will love this project because they do have a lot of places to run around within the project already.
Actually, for 500 plus, you need 3 function rooms. Actually, it's a lot.
Yup. And to put into perspective, my own place was a 1,000 unit project, but they only have 2 function rooms only.
Same, my one also 600 plus units and we only have 2 function rooms.
That's why I say it's an advantage because buyers are going to be looking at this in the resale market. Landscaping, all these are actually important as a home buyer. There are 2 pools over here. The thing that I want to highlight is that it has a golf simulator. When I saw it, I was like, wow. Because I play golf and I think it's quite rare for mass market projects to have golf simulator. And the entrance wise is actually quite grand also.
So this slide is about block distance. So Jay earlier mentioned about the block distance is quite far away. So now we are going to show you how far is it.
So from here to here is actually approximately 63 meters lah. And then from here to here is 34 meters approximately. So this is the furthest distance for the blocks over here. And then this is the furthest distance for the blocks over here as well. As I mentioned earlier, even if you are buying the inner facing units, the distance between each block is actually quite good. And just now I mentioned there are 3 different heights. For the units over here is level 6. This will be facing the future plot. Over this side will be where the landed are. For this block, this will be the 13-story one. And for this block, it will be the 16-story one. If you are wondering why they actually staggered, it's because of government regulation lah. The same happened for dairy farm residences also. For this project, all the units are north-south facing. There's only one stack, which is stack 48, that faces east. Currently over here is another plot of residential, but right now is trees lah, forest lah.
So basically you enjoy the view first.
Yeah, you enjoy the view first. We do not know when the land will be sold, but at least in the near future you will enjoy the block view lor.
Yeah.
Then for the units facing this side, it will be facing dairy farm residences.
Just now we mentioned that there's a content regarding about the properties in Hillview and dairy farm profitable.
We actually did some research lah. Midwood is actually just beside Hillview MRT. Dairy Farm Residences is actually the project that is just beside Narra Residences lah. So a lot of buyers are wondering whether the Dairy Farm area, Hillview area actually make money or not. The short answer is yes, they still make money. Because from here you can see that the 4-bedroom actually profited 400 over 1,000. The 3-bedder actually profited 300 plus over 1,000 as well. Even a 2-bedder over here also profit 314,000. For dairy farm residences, the 4-bedder perform even better, 500 over K in profits, and 3-bedder in dairy farm residences, it ranges from 200 plus thousand to 400 plus thousand. So yes, they actually do make money. So for Midwood and dairy farm residences, why we take these 2 examples, based on TOP date, they are the only 299 years leasehold project in the area that actually obtained their TOP in the last few years. There are only these 2 projects to choose from if you are a buyer who wants to buy in the Hillview area. Then let me bring to your attention the transaction volume. So over here at Midwood, it actually has 67 units transacted. And for dairy farm residences, there are 29 units transacted. Both are transactions in 1 year. And if you want to know why some people say that the dairy farm area is hard to sell, I will explain to you right now. First off, if you ask me whether these numbers are good, I would say that if we compare it to Serangoon area, this is garden residences, you can see that the average PSF in the resale market currently is also around the same as the 2 projects that we actually shown earlier. But the total transactions in 1 year is actually more than both projects that we have shown earlier. In the Hillview area, there are only 2 projects that TOP in the last 5 years. But the transaction volume is still lower than garden residences, which has around the same number of units as the 2 projects that we mentioned earlier. Garden residences in D19 Serangoon area with so many projects TOP than last few years.
Still can do so much.
Yeah, they still can do more transactions than Hillview area. So why is the volume higher? Let me explain to you why. In order to know this, right, you must understand supply and demand. So this is garden residences in Serangoon. District 19 is near Serangoon Gardens, which is currently not near any MRT station. Garden residences consist of around the same number of units as Midwood and Dairy Farm. But in an area like District 19, where there are so many condos and ECs that actually obtain their TOP and MOP in the last few years, why garden residences can still have a higher transaction volume than Midwood and Dairy Farm when they are the only 2 projects that actually TOP in the last 5 years? It means that any buyer who wants to buy a new TOP project in Hillview, Dairy Farm area, they will have to choose between Midwood and Dairy Farm. Yet, the transaction is still lower. But in District 19, there are so many projects that obtained TOP in the last few years. Riverfront Residences, Florence Residences, Affinity. So just those 3 projects already over 3,000 units already. Yet, garden residences can still get more transaction volume in 1 year than Midwood and Dairy Farm. In order to understand this, you must understand supply and demand. For these kind of mass market projects, actually where is the demand coming from?
Likely upgrader?
HDB upgraders, right? That is why for Serangoon area, for District 19, even though there are so many condos for buyers to choose from, right, the volume is still higher because there's many more HDB upgraders over there.
Actually, I think they flow from Sengkang, Punggol as well. There's so many MOP blocks over there.
Yeah, so when there are a lot more HDB upgraders, naturally there will be a lot more buyers looking to upgrade to condo. And let us share with you data on this. So if you look at the last 2 years MOP supply of 2024 and 2025, there are a total of 4,459 units in Bukit Panjang, Bukit Batok and Choa Chu Kang area, basically District 23. In the same period, if you look at how many available options are in the market for those buyers who want to upgrade, there's a total of 4,058 units. Midwood and Dairy Farm Residences are the ones in the Hillview and Dairy Farm area, of course. You have your Soul Acres, Wonderville, Inns Residences. These are EC, which we also included inside because EC is also an option for HDB upgraders. These 3 options are actually ECs that already obtained their MOP, means to say they can sell in the open market
just
already.
5 years.
And then of course we have another 2 projects over here, Blossom Residences and Phoenix Residences. If you look at all these supply, right, you will see the number over here and the number over here is actually quite close to each other.
Yep.
And of course, if we look at this MOP supply, 4,459 units, will all these owners actually upgrade?
Not all.
There's a chance that maybe 20 or 30% upgrade. And if only 20% upgrade, which is about 800 units, but they have 4,000 over units to choose from. Which means that it's oversupply.
Correct.
And that is why in the last 2 years, you can actually see that even though Dairy Farm Residences and Midwood, they do profit, but the transaction volume is not the best because of this factor. There are not enough HDB upgraders to go and buy and upgrade to all these condos. In the next 5 years, what's going to happen? Narra Residences, it will TOP, just now we mentioned
2030?
2030 on paper, but the developer is going to aim for maybe 2028 to 2029 TOP. If you look at the next 5 years, the MOP supply, there's a huge advantage. You know why?
We have Tengah.
Yes, because we have Tengah. So Tengah is actually a new township. In the last 5 years, there are no MOP HDB over there. But in the next 5 years, there are actually MOP HDB over there. And the number adds up to 21,807. That's 5 times more. In the next 5 years, the number of units that are going to obtain TOP, we have Botany, we have Narra Residences, The Mise, Hillhaven, Copen Grand, and this next upcoming plot, which is estimated at 480 units. If we take all these confirmed projects, the number of units that TOP is 2899 in the next 5 years.
So much lesser than what we saw earlier.
Over here is higher. Again, we say just 20% upgrade. So 20% upgrade, that's 4,000 units.
Yeah, that's a lot.
4,000 upgraders compare to this 2899. So can we say that in the last 2 years, it was heavily oversupply, and in the next 5 years, we are actually facing an undersupply issue? Of course, if more people upgrade, there will be even lesser units for buyers to buy. More people trying to fight for one unit. When there's a demand, when there are more people fighting for one unit,
the price will go up higher.
Because more people want the unit, then buyers are more willing to pay because they also want to get the unit and they also don't want other people to buy the unit that they want. So to cut short, Dairy Farm, Hillview area, the projects, do they earn money?
They still earn. It's just that maybe previously we have a lot of supplies.
Yes, and because of the lack of demand from the HDB upgraders, that's why the transaction volumes are not high. Of course, transaction volume, when it's not high, it also will not push your price like super high as well. So when you want to buy a property in Singapore, it is really very important to understand what is the demand of the property that you want to buy. It's not just about location, whether it's near MRT. There are actually a lot of other factors that you must consider. And when you're not on the ground, it's very hard to know because it's really through experience and really with all this data that we actually spend a lot of time to actually go and research. Then we know why certain projects don't earn money, certain projects actually do better.
Yep.
So next up will be the price list.
This kind of price, have you seen it for the longest time?
Actually, for quite a bit, we haven't seen this kind of quantum, I would say.
So based on the prices we see right now, right, Jay, can I just ask you, 3-bedder, 1.6 million, what other location we can look for or other projects? Do you have anything on mind?
Currently, if we talk about 3-bedder, I think don't have this pricing. Canberra was selling around this pricing, but of course it's Canberra. This is actually D23. I would say it's a more favorable location. But in terms of a new launch, right now in the current market, what's available, this pricing is actually quite attractive. There's also a reason why developers are pricing it this way. We know that the economy is not at the best state currently, and developers are also aware of this. And that's why even with the interest rates dropping, they are very cautious when they price their units. I just want to ask you guys, would you rather buy a project that is cheap, but nobody want to buy now, but you know that there's potential? Or would you buy a project that is priced higher, but everybody want to buy? So this is something for you to think of. In terms of buying a property, there are a lot of factors to look at. If there is a project that is priced attractively, do your research and see whether there is potential or not. And if there is potential, then maybe it's something that you can look at.
Jay, who are the likely buyers of Narra Residence?
So just now we touched on the price already. We want to know who are going to be the ones that will buy Narra Residences currently. Or if you are a HDB owner, you're watching a video, you're interested, you're thinking of buying Narra Residence or any projects in the market, this will be relevant to you. And if you look at this case study, right, for a Bukit Batok 4-room HDB, assuming that the purchase price is 300,000 after grants, and then the current selling price is about 750k, and their estimated outstanding loan 220,000. After they sell, they can actually get back around 513,000 of sales proceeds, cash plus CPF. And for Narra Residences, the potential starting price for the 3-bedroom, let's say, is 1.635 million. The down payment plus stamp duty a buyer needs is actually 460,000. So if you are watching the video now and you're thinking of upgrading, and you're staying in a 4-room HDB, there's a chance that you can actually upgrade to a 3-bedroom without any top-up in cash. The next one that we want to share is that, let's say you buy at this price, then you want to sell. So next time, if you want to sell at 2 million,
is there any buyers that are going to buy from you?
Yeah. So we are talking about the Narra buyers in the future. So another case study. Just now we mentioned about Tengah, right? So to make it as relevant and also as in-depth as possible, we will take a Tengah 4-room HDB. Assuming their purchase price is 330,000 after grants. The current selling price, because the Tengah is a new estate, and also because there are also a lot of supply of MOP HDB over there in the next 5 years, we feel that we should actually discount 10% on the selling price as compared to Bukit Batok. So really is try to be as realistic as possible. So let's say 675k, their estimated outstanding loan when they want to sell is about 210,000. After their agent fees and miscellaneous, all these, they will get back about 449k. Okay?
Including cash and CPF.
Yeah. Then let's say you already bought Narra, or you bought a property at 1.6 plus million, then you want to sell at 2 million in the west area. So for Tengah HDB upgraders, right, they can look at west area.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be just District 23, which is Hillview area or Dairy Farm area. They can look at Jurong area also. The range that they can upgrade to is actually quite wide. Let's say you have a property that you bought at 1.6-ish, you want to sell at 2 million. The down payment needed for the next buyer is 569,000. And if you look at this Tengah owner who sold their HDB at 675k, right, they can get back about 449k. So from here, you might be thinking when you're watching the video that there is actually a shortfall of 120,000. Then you say this 120,000 is quite a lot. Can they really upgrade or not? And with this shortfall, let's really dive deeper to actually see if it can still be done. And so over here, when a buyer wants to buy a 2M property, we just take an average age of 35. To qualify for a max loan for a 2 million property, is at 4% stress test currently. Over here, you can see the max loan 1996, so it's close to 2 million. The income that you need is actually 6,500. So total income is about 13,000 combined. This is without including any bonuses.
So just now you mentioned about the shortfall. How are we going to calculate the shortfall?
So let me explain to you. Just now we got 120,000 shortfall,
Yes.
right? So the income ceiling for HDB is 14,000. And for this case, your combined income is 13,000. And then every month, based on your income and your age, your monthly contribution towards your CPF is actually 1,365. So if we add it all up for both owners, right, it's 2,730. And then I assume that in the next 5 years, while staying at HDB, you don't have any increment. So your salary never increase at all. So if you take this 2730 minus away what you need to pay for your house, which is your current HDB, you have $1,607 excess. And if we multiply this by 60 months, which is your MOP period of 5 years, you will have 96,400 in CPF. So this already make up 96,000. Then every month you get salary, high chance you will save a bit, right? Let's just say each person save $250. Combine you all save $500. And in a period of 60 months, you will actually save 30,000. So if you add these two numbers together, after 5 years, the total cash plus CPF available is actually 126,420 to upgrade. So it's actually really doable. Yeah, it's really doable.
We haven't included those that are holding 5 room leh.
Yes. And also for those who actually hold longer period, we are also using a very conservative selling price. If you are watching the video, you don't know how to calculate, you let us know and we can actually calculate for you. We can help you see whether you actually can qualify to upgrade or not. Of course, we can also do it for the 4 and 5 beders, but we are not going to do it in this video. If you feel that you are interested, you can feel free to connect with us and then we will be more than happy to assist you on that.
Yes, next we will analyze our 1 bedroom first. Anyway, we only have 3 1 bedrooms, so just show you how does it look like. It's the normal 1 bedroom that we see in the market. Basically, we have the living dining area and the study area.
All these 3 1 bedrooms are actually on the first level. So only 3 units on the ground floor.
So basically 517 square feet is about 560 to 570 in the current market right now.
In terms of non-harmonized.
In terms of the size. So let's go to our 2 bedroom analysis. So basically we will show you the 2 bed 1 bath versus the 2 bed 1 bath dairy farm residence.
Over here will be the 2 bed 1 bath for Narra Residence, and then over here is dairy farm residences. You can actually see that the size wise is actually 64 square feet difference, but because of harmonization, it's actually about 20 square feet difference.
So actually it looks about the same, not much difference, right? Actually, we saw a transaction in the dairy farm residence at 1.135 in 2025. And Narra is going at 1.17, which is a newer project than dairy farm residence, which is 8 years older.
And when Narra TOP, right, the building itself will be almost 7 years newer than dairy farm residences.
Yes. This is our 2 bed 2 bath premium looking at 646 square feet. Basically, we have a closed kitchen concept. It's 5 square meter. Living hall area is 21 square meter.
And I think that the layout moving forward for 2-bedder, a lot of developers are trying to build the tuck-away kitchen because they realize that this is the winning formula. And this is something that is very popular for buyers nowadays.
Yeah, it looks more functional
as compared to the walkway kitchen. And for 2-bedroom premium, I think facing wise, we have 2 stacks facing dairy farm residences. Then another 2 stacks will be inwards facing.
Yes.
And if you ask me which is better, of course the inward facing will be better. But if you are buying for rental,
whichever cheapest.
Whichever makes more money sense.
Basically, I think the layouts are the same. If you can see dumbbell layout and then tuck-in kitchen, 2 sides bathroom, so it's quite standard.
Yeah, so we have to see the price on the day and then you can decide. Just remember that if you're buying for investment, the facing for smaller bedroom types are not that important in the OCR area. Honestly, even if you buy the outside facing or the inwards facing, there are not much view.
Yep. So now we have our 2 bedrooms with home shelter. We have 4 layouts here. Basically, it's from 689 square feet to 700 square feet. For the 700 square feet, right, the kitchen have window, which is quite unique in this area. And then, of course, we have a bigger living room and master room is 12 square meter versus 11 square meter from the 689 square feet. But if we compare with these 2 layouts, which one would you choose, Jay?
I think the difference is only 11 square feet. For this area, right, 2 bedroom with enclosed kitchen and window, there are no other projects. And because of the fact that there are no other projects with 2 bedroom with enclosed kitchen and windows, I think I will choose the 700 square feet.
Same here. Yeah. I think it's quite important, especially if you really cook a little bit. Then we also want the smell to get out of the house.
Yeah, because there's a high chance that the 700 square feet it will be more expensive. The size is one thing and the PSF might be higher because developers also know this will be the more sought after layout. But if you're paying more for something that is very common, that is not unique, it's not special, then I wouldn't.
The good part is right at the corner. It's a corner unit for 700 square feet. And like what Jay mentioned, the 2 other condos don't have windows in kitchen. So it's something more unique and easier to sell in future.
Yeah.
So this is our 2-bedroom with home shelter plus study. We have 2 layouts here and it's at 721 square feet. I think both of them look the same lah. For 721 square feet, maybe we are looking at about 1.5 million. We are actually paying 100k more for the study area. So given a choice, do you feel that we should even consider this 2-bed with home shelter plus study or just the 2-bed 2-bath?
I feel that if you are choosing between the 700 square feet with the enclosed kitchen and window and these, I would say go for that. You actually can stretch your budget to get the 3-bedroom 818 square feet, which we'll show you later on. Get the 3-bedroom 8181.
Yeah, because the 3-bedroom will roughly go about 1.63 lah, which is 100 over 1,000 different also.
Which is the layout and the price that we used for the case study earlier on lah.
So now let's go to our 3-bedder analysis. 3-bedroom compact with 3-bedroom flexi. It's good that we have a lot of windows and it means that there's a lot of brightness in the house lah. And the price point is cheap. As we mentioned earlier, it's about 1.63, around that range and above. So that's why we mentioned that, let's say if you want to compare with the 2 earlier layouts, this 3-bedroom compact will be better. If you feel that you have a little bit more budget, you can choose the flexi. It's actually a good choice. If the flexi is going at 2,000 PSF, it's about 120k different and you can squeeze a storage area at the flexi area. I think the bedrooms are also slightly bigger. So if you compare these two, I think we will go for 3-bed with flexi lah.
I think 3-bedroom with flexi gives you a bit more flexibility.
Yeah, and I think the upgraders will like this because they need more space and then they have kids and all. Yeah. So now 3-bedroom premium, we have 3 layouts here. For the 990 square feet, it's actually facing future plots. So if you ask me which is our favorite layout here, I think it will be the 1001 square feet, which is the first layout we saw in the slide. You actually can get the pool view lah. And basically the layout is the same except the walkways. Some walkways we have more corners and all.
For this one, if I really have the budget, I will get level 15 because this is 16 story, this is 13 lah.
Yeah, so I think level 15 you can see through already.
You can see all the way to over here, which the distance is actually very huge to the next upcoming plot lah.
Yeah, so for these 3 layout, I think our best choice will be 1001 square feet.
There's really not much difference in the layout other than just the walkway area.
Now we have another 3-bedroom premium. For this, right, the same thing. I think all the shapes are the same. It's just that 1023 square feet is the longish kind of layout lah. So this is whether you like it or not lor. So we have 6 3-bedroom premium. If we are going to decide which one is the better choice, it's still 1001 square feet.
For this 1023, if you compare the 1001, the main difference is actually over here lah. The rooms are actually very comparable. This is 14, this is 14, this is 9, 9, 9, 9.
Yeah, it's all comparable. Only the 1023 square feet, which Jay mentioned earlier, that is facing another side, which is facing the forest right now and a future plot.
Depends on what you like. If you want to enjoy the current view,
which we don't know when it will go
off.
If
you have a preference for east facing, I think this is for you.
Yeah. So we also have 3-bedroom plus study. For 3-bedroom plus study layout, the good thing is the walls can be hacked. It became like a more flexible lah.
This wardrobe over here can actually be removed lah. Depends on whether you need the study. You can actually convert this into a big master bedroom, or if you need, you can actually convert this into a bedroom as well.
Yeah, another bedroom.
It depends on your own usage. Because this 1152 square feet, right, is actually the same size as the 4-bedroom. So when you're choosing between the 3-bedroom plus study and the 4-bedroom, you can actually decide which one actually is a better choice for yourself lah. It's very similar, the layout. And then, of course, for these 2 layout over here, the only difference I would say is the living room is slightly bigger because of this space over here. The rest are exactly the same.
Yeah, quite identical. So now we will show you the 4-bedroom compact with 4-bedroom premium. So the one that Jay mentioned earlier that is same as a 3-bed plus study is the 4-bedroom compact. So basically for 4-bedroom compact 1152 square feet, you basically really have a 4-bedroom. So if you compare with these two, we will suggest 4-bedroom will be a better choice. And maybe it depends on the price also. Because it depends whether the developer price the 3-bed plus study the same as this 4-bedroom. Look at what is the difference and whether if you want to top up to get this 4-bedroom plus compact instead.
I think if it's at the same price, The 3-bedroom offers you more flexibility because you can choose to have it as a study, you can choose to convert it as a super huge master bedroom, or if you really need a 4th room, you can actually convert it into a bedroom. If it's at the same price, I might go for the 3+ study.
Oh, really?
Because there's more flexibility.
Okay, for me, I will get the 4-bedroom plus because I feel that it's a 4-bedroom. When I sell in the paper, it's also 4-bedroom.
Yeah, so it depends on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the 4-bedroom premium, we have a landscape living hall area. The study area is there also. It depends whether if you want to do it or not. And we have a junior master here. For 4-bedroom premium is if you need it, I mean, you
The
can have it.
landscape is good.
Yeah.
You can actually do a study over here.
And the best part is the junior master lah.
The master bedroom is also very big. Okay. That's about it for this. So for the facing wise, this is the 13-story block, right? If you get high floor above 8, you will clear the blocks over here. Then the distance to the next building in the future is actually quite huge lah.
And the last layout will be our 5-bedroom. So for our 5-bedroom, I think it's really very less supply, especially when Meatwood and Dairy Farm do not have any 5-bedrooms. Only Botany, we have 14 units. So in the whole district, 23 5-bedrooms, we have not much listings. And the best part here is the 5-bedroom is with lift.
Unique selling point. If you're paying more, pay for something that's rare, that is worth it. And if you talk about the layout wise, it's landscape living. All the bedrooms can actually fit a double bed, and the master is super huge.
It's like 20 square meter.
Look at this wardrobe over here.
Yeah, it's super huge.
Yeah. Then junior master is over here.
Yeah.
It has everything you need in a 5-bedroom.
Yeah, and not forgetting it's 1658 square feet. It's really huge.
If you are looking at 5-bedder in this project, I think you won't really care the price lah.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer lah, to be honest.
If you like it, then you'll buy lor. With that, we actually come to the end of our analysis. The preview is likely going to start on 17th of January 2026. It'll go on for 2 weeks. If you are interested to view the SHOWFLAT, or if you have any questions regarding upgrading from HDB, or if you currently hold a condo and you feel that maybe the price is stagnant, or if you feel that the price growth is not as good as what you expect and you want to find out why, are actually also able to help you lah. If you like our content, do
Like and share.
Do like and share and subscribe to our channels.
Yes.
And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.